Sariel peeks into the room, her crossbow to the ready. She sees 2 slaves and 2 elephant masks wandering about the room. So she signals her allies, then she throws the door open, firing off a bolt at one of the swordsmen and wounding it severely. The undead buffets Sariel's allies with sword blows, and one man gets badly wounded on the leg. So the undead slay the wounded man-at-arms. The other men-at-arms shout in fury, swearing they will crush those damned undead into fine powder. Back to Sariel, she will attempt to kill the wounded elite. That's a 17, perfect. So that is a 7. With a precise blow of her dirk, she pierces the elephant man's armor and brings him down. Now she is going to target the remaining minion with her Afraid Eye. 4. The minion is down. She then continues her attack by slaying the minion harassing her men.
Only one left, guys. Let's crush him.
They are all attacking the elite, but he's at full health. 19, 13, and 14. Yep, that's a hit. They're all hit. 2, 3, 4, he's dead. The men, feeling emboldened, all team up to kill the remaining undead. Whew, finally got through this room. My gosh, we've been having such a difficult dungeon so far. So now I need to roll to see how many doors there are. I will roll a d4. That is a homebrew rule, by the way. Usually you don't roll for how many doors, but I like to. But what is not a homebrew rule is rolling to see where they are. So let's start with the doors. There is one other door. Otherwise it won't make sense. Okay. And it is at 6. 6 is straight down. Now let's roll for the next room. So it's gonna be 1 as far as the room. We don't get an encounter. There is no treasure. There is no hazard. And there is no feature. So it's empty. And we have Acolyte Cells. So they move to this kind of big room with a central pillar, but then it's subdivided into a bunch of little rooms called cells, where you would have monks and the faithful just praying in there. But it is mostly empty. So we are gonna roll to see if we catch up with the people. And we do not. And now I'm simply gonna roll for how many doors and then for where they are. 4 doors. Okay, I'm gonna have to change the layout. So I have 1, 1, 2, and 8. So I will have Sariel do a wisdom check of 15 to find out where the people went. Remember, she has +5. A 2 and an 8 is exactly what we needed. So I will just assume that it's this door above. So now Sariel will venture there. Therefore we need to roll to know what is hiding there. So let's see. No encounter. No treasure. No feature. No hazard. And it's a guard post. Perhaps the people that we're chasing after took out everyone there. Now let's just check if we caught up to them. No, we did not. As the group enters the next room, they see what looks like a guard post. The place has what looks like ancient and crumbling weapons lining the walls. There is evidence that a fight occurred there recently, as slaves and swordsmen are sprawled on the floor with, you know, wounds. Before I exit the room, since we have not done a roll for wandering monsters, I will check if there are any. It's on a 1. Okay, no. Phew. Where is the next room? And how many doors are there? Maybe 1, since it's a guard post, you'd want to control it. So I will assume there's only 1, and I will roll for 1d8. 5. Would that make any sense? Yes, it would. And now, what's in the next room? We have a 4. We have a 6, so I don't think that's an encounter. Shouldn't be. That is a 10 for treasure, so there would be one. So there's more odds we get a hazard. But we have such a low result for hazard that nothing happens. And we have a feature finally, because we have a 9 for it. And it's supposed to be a cemetery, but to me it sounds stupid, so let's have a prayer hall instead. So the game recommends you roll 1d8 on to determine what kind of feature this is, and then roll to see what kind of quality it has. So I have a 4, which is a prisoner or victim of the dungeon inhabitants. And 7, there's a map clue. Find treasure automatically in next room. Huh. I think it is time to have a new scene. Scene 12, and we're still on Chaos 7. So expect that Sariel and her allies enter a prayer hall, just as the people they were chasing move on to the next room. The prayer room contains an empty sarcophagus to Azathoth, so this would be the prisoner or victim. The sarcophagus tells about the Sword of Azathoth and its location, the Holy Throne Room. If Marcus can decipher the writings on the wall, he'll be able to lead the party straight to it. So that would be the map clue. Of course, I need a 8, 9, or 10 to get that, otherwise it's gonna be more random. Yes, that is a 10. The group enters a massive room filled with pews and dominated by a massive and highly ornamented sandstone sarcophagus, which seems to have been dug from the ground itself. At the other end of the room, next to the sarcophagus, they see 2 figures seemingly trying to decipher some of the hieroglyphs on the sides of the burial monument. Here's how it looks like. Just this huge room, much bigger than all the other ones. I will have Sariel throw a wisdom check of 11 to discern who they are, and I'll give her +5 for that, so it should be fairly easy. So we may finally know who they are, though you may probably have an inkling already. That is a 5 and that is a 6. And before I reveal their identity, do the strangers flee to the next room? So this will be a roll, and I think it's likely. I mean, they've been fleeing, combating the undead, just being 1 step ahead of us. So, 38. So, that is a yes. As Sariel and her allies enter the room, she recognizes Imelec, the astrologer, and beside him is someone who looks like another man-at-arms, minus the helmet. The duo is startled at their presence, and after turning to each other, they run on the other side of the sarcophagus. However, Sariel recognizes the other man just as he turns his head, before making a run for it. It's none other than Dario,